bottom. Ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
Let's jump into divisional. I actually don't want to do that game first. I actually want to start here. Let's start here. Let's start with the 49ers and the Eagles. Championship Sunday. We got the line still. Let me make sure that's the current line that I have right now because those lines were put in earlier. I just want to double check real quick.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yep, I'm still looking at a 2.5, and I'm still looking at 46.5 as the total. All right, we got the 49ers going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. A couple of actual factuals real quick. The line is at 2.5, as I just stated earlier. The total is at 46. Start with San Francisco's actual factuals. They are probably the hottest team in football in the NFL right now, if not the hottest NFL team right now. They're 9-1 ATS in their last 10 games.
Come on.
10-0 straight up in the last 10 games. 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games when on the road. However, 2-8 ATS in their last 10 games against Philadelphia. 3-7 straight up in the last 10 games against Philadelphia. But 7-3 ATS in their last 10 games when playing on the road in Philly. 9-0 ATS on the last 9 games against an opponent from the NFC conference. Totals have gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. Let's look at Philly. 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games, but 15-3 straight up in the last 18. 8-2 straight up in the last 10 games. 10-3 straight up in the last 13 games against an opponent from the NFC conference. 7-2 ATS in the last 9 games on Sunday at the crib. Their totals under in 9 of the last 10 games played in the month of January. Under in 6 of the last 8 games against an opponent from the NFC West division, and also under in 4 of their last 5 games. Mr. Plus, Mr. 100, Mr. No Cap Bets.
Yes, sir.
Going to the Super Bowl representing the NFC. We got the Niners.
Well, listen, and you know what? I want to give all respect to the Philadelphia Eagles when I say this, because they don't have no Dak. Jalen Hurts is a baller. I think the dude can squat like 800 pounds. I don't know if you've seen that. You know what I'm saying? But this San Francisco team is just too deadly. Like, when I mean deadly like a which way you want it. Swiss Army knife. You know what I'm saying? You got Brock Purdy. You know what I'm saying? He's got the nickname Big Paws Brock. You know the paws, they calling them, you know, they talk about the size of his cojones and stuff like that. You've got Deebo Samuel. You got McCaffrey, who pretty much they haven't lost since they got him. They haven't lost since they had Purdy as a starter. I said Samuel. We got George Kittle. And then when I look at like some of the quarterbacks they've already faced in the league already, I mean, they made pretty much light work out of everybody except for Mahomes, you know? So I'm looking at what they did against the Chargers. They won that 22-16. They held Herbert down. They went up against Miami. I can't say Tua started. I'm pretty sure Tua started that game. They won that 33-17. They went up against Brady. They got him 35-7. They went up against the Commanders, who the Eagles have problems with. We'll touch on that in a little bit. 37-20. And just made it look good to end the season against they basically beat everybody they're supposed to. The NFC West is not, they don't stand a chance against the Niners. Like you said, winners of 10 in a row, winners of 12 in a row. The only thing that I would say is a risk is that I haven't seen them perform as well as they do on the road, the way that they do at home. So this will be a tough, hostile crowd. But if you ask me, they're all for it. I actually saw a clip the other day of Purdy up against Jalen Hurts back in the Big 12 when he was playing over there at Iowa State.
Iowa
State versus Oklahoma. Go back and watch that game. Purdy does not back down. Oklahoma was the clear favorite in that game, and Purdy got his squad back. I don't know. I think they were down like 2 touchdowns. Got him back. They missed the 2-pointer that would have took it to OT. Revenge is on the brain for Brock Purdy, and he's got some reinforcements that are pretty much unstoppable. We got to take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles defense. They had 70 sacks on the season. They look unstoppable the way they dealt with the Giants, but these are not the Giants. The Giants didn't have the type of offense that the Niners do. You're not just going to manhandle these guys. And I've been thinking this for quite some time, whether it was going to be the Cowboys that advanced or the 49ers. The Eagles are due for a bad game at some point. I thought it was going to be last game with Jalen Hurts and the whole shoulder thing. But when I take a look, the San Francisco 49ers, 12-2 against the spread against the entire NFC. That means they're not talking to nobody until they get to that Super Bowl. Nobody's touching them. You said it. You said it best, Marley. This is the hottest team in the league right now. They picked up steam right at the right time. It's got to be San Francisco plus 2.5 and money line.
All right, plus the 2.5. But you feel like money line, they're going to win the game. Period.
Yeah, it's whatever it is on the money line.
All right.
Put it down on the plus, boy.
Okay. All right. I almost agree with everything you said. Right? Almost. I'm almost right there with you, but I'm not all the way there. And you know what? When they made the McCaffrey trade, I told one of my guys, I'm in a pool league. I shoot pool. I'm in a pool league on Mondays. I told one of my guys, big Philadelphia friend, dudes from East Coast, but I don't think. Anyway, I remember saying this to him. Oh, it's gonna be Philly and San Fran in the NFC Championship. As soon as they made that trade, boom! I was like, that's the missing piece. That's what they needed. And here we are. Nor in my wildest dream that I envisioned Brock Purdy would be the quarterback. I thought that would be Jimmy Garoppolo. And Don't get me wrong, Brock Purdy has played amazing, right? He's done everything that you can ask of a backup or third string quarterback, and more. But I went back and I looked at those 10 games because he's on a 10-game win streak, right?
Yep.
I went back and looked at those 10 games. They played Arizona twice.
Yep.
They played Seattle. They played Las Vegas. They played Washington. They actually played Seattle twice. They played Tampa, who we just talked about. And then they played Miami, as you said. I think Tua did. I can't really remember if Tua played that game or not. I think he did not, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. Could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
But Philly has, I agree with you, right? Defensive in San Francisco is top notch. And I'm a big, huge, when I tell you huge DeMeco Ryans fan. I remember in high school watching this cat at Alabama play linebacker, the position that I played, and he was one of my favorite linebackers. And he came to Houston for a little while, played in Houston. I'm a huge DeMeco Ryans fan. I love the job he's doing, especially if you go look at the 49ers in the second half of stats. Like, once he goes into the locker room and they figure out they're trying to do this, we make our adjustments, boom, boom, boom. They are like the best, and that let me know it's coaching. It's not just talent. Yes, you have to have talent in the NFL. Everybody has talent, but when you go in the second half and you dissect shit and break it down and then shut out a team, like, that's coaching. You know,
right?
So big shout out to them. But the Eagles have one of the best, if not the best, offensive line in football right now. And I personally think if that line can hold up against Bosa and company, the weakness on San Francisco is their passing defense. As great as Greenwood and I can't think of the other linebacker's name right now. Is it Greenwood? Not Greenwood. Warner. Excuse me. Warner. Is Warner is their cornerbacks and safeties. I think outside of Ward, maybe, is not really the best, and they struggle with bigger. See, we saw what DK was able to do,
right?
And then you got AJ Brown on the outside, who's a similar. They're similar. They're both big physical receivers that can run. I like Philly first half. On the money line, they're the highest scoring team in the second quarter. They're normally ahead in the first half. I personally think the game is a toss-up. I do like Philly at home to win, but what scares me is I can see Philly going in with a small lead. D'Amico coming in, making those adjustments that they do, and shut that offense down. I don't know how significant the lead will be. I'm not sure if Brock Purdy is ready to go on the road and win a championship game. Like that shit just takes time. That's just how it works in the NFL. It's very rare that you get a rookie that's just gonna go all the way to the Super Bowl and win. I don't know if it's ever happened. It wasn't Tom Brady's rookie year. So like at some point, the defenses are gonna confuse this kid. That's just how it works in the NFL. And I look
think
at the
Ben,
defenses that they've played outside of Dallas, in which he struggled. I think if Dak doesn't throw fucking 2 interceptions, they might very well win that game because it's not like the offense scored a bunch of points. 6 of those points came off turnovers.
right?
So I'm not super confident in Brock Purdy that he's ready to go on the road and face a Philadelphia team led by what a lot of people think may have been the MVP of the league in Jalen Hurts. And that offense is explosive. I know 49er defense is good, but I think the offensive line, if they can hold up, give Jalen Hurts enough time, I think they have the receivers that can beat 49ers secondary. I like them early, though, on the first half, and I'll take the money line.
Hey, I think, just to go back to the rookie comment, I think Ben Roethlisberger is probably like the last rookie to take his team to the Super Bowl.
Was he a rookie that year? Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He had a bus for it.
He's probably the last one to do it, though.
And that had to be like, what, 2000, early 2000s.
I was going to say 4.
Yeah, I'm
five,
thinking, I was going to say 5, but yeah, 4, 5, 6, somewhere around in that time frame.
Talking about 2 decades, basically, and we haven't seen it.
Right. So that scares me. I mean, like you said, you named all the weapons on the offensive side of the ball. You got Debo, you got McCaffrey, who has a calf injury, by the way. You got McCaffrey, you got Ayuk, you got, I think I said Debo.
Ayuk.
You got Kittles. You got weapons, and you got Shanahan, who is known as a great play caller in this league, offensive coordinator. So, but he's a fucking rookie.
Marley, but this is where coaching comes in, and you got a defensive, type of a mind, right, going into this. So let me just pose this question to you: if you take insert any quarterback here, but whatever, serviceable quarterback, doesn't matter who it is, but if you take that personnel, Ayuk, Kittle, Samuel, McCaffrey, you spread them out, wouldn't that create a mismatch for like a D line that kind of just wants to throw the house at you? Like they want to stack the box. They want to get you in the backfield, right? But if you spread them out 4 wide, all get little dink dunks, whatever, doesn't that disrupt a defensive scheme?
Yeah, but that's not what San Fran does, because in order to do that, you have to have a quarterback that can read the defense and find those mismatches and dissect what's going on very quickly. I'm not saying Brock Purdy can't do that, but like I said, San Francisco is a physical team. They want to run the ball, pound you, play action to Kittles. Everything looks the same, and then we reverse it with Debo.
Right.
So it's not like that's more of a Tom Brady. We'll spread you out and we'll let Tom Brady sit back, survey the defense, and he's going to figure out what you're in because he's seen it 1,000 fucking times. You can't really run nothing that he hasn't seen. Whereas, Brock Purdy, in my opinion, which I'm pretty sure it has to be, is what everybody's trying to do, but they can't stop the run. Dallas did a great job, though. They should have won that game. It's all on the offense. I feel like they held them to San Francisco scored 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
They scored 7 points. Dak threw 2 interceptions, I believe. I know one was in San Francisco's. They were backed up on their team. I can't remember necessarily the other one. He should have threw 3. They dropped 1. So I just don't see. The thing about Jalen Hurts is he hasn't turned the ball. I think he's only thrown 3 interceptions all season.
Right.
With 30 touchdowns. I just don't. If he's not turning the ball over and they're moving the ball, if he scores 2 touchdowns, or even can they score? Can they match that? If he scores 3, if they score 21, can he match? Can Brock Purdy match that on the road? That's my concern.
You don't want Jalen Hurts on the field. I think you got to play a time of possession game. Like, if I got to back this Niners lock, it's going to be like, keep Jalen Hurts off the field. You don't want him extending plays, getting his legs into it, giving us little 7-yard runs and then little dink and ducks, then airing it out. Like, you do not want this offense to get any type of rhythm. You want to get those big guys, those 70 sack guys, you want to tire them out. 80-yard drives, 10 minutes apiece. And Brock Purdy's he's gonna have to pull that off with all the personnel that he has. And I'm saying he has enough personnel. So I hope that they scheme this one offensively. I'm riding Purdy all the way to the bowl, baby.
I got you. All right.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.